Yeah, a very good evening to you once again, and welcome to the show once again, the sports segment of the show on Fauzan Harun channel. I trust you're doing well wherever you are, God willing, and thanks for coming back on today's show. And today it's time for serious talk in that Chelsea has lost 3-2 to West Ham. In our quest to re-emphasize and re-consolidate ourselves on the third position of the English Premiership fight for top 4 finish, we have lost ground once again. And Frank Lampard's Chelsea has lost ground once again, 3-2 to West Ham, and West Ham making a double over Chelsea. They've made a double over Chelsea, beat us 1-0 at the Stamford Bridge, and then giving us yesterday 3-2 once again. Quite unfortunate for us to bear the pain. But please, before I do start the program, please do subscribe and share the program for me wherever you are watching me from. Share, touch the notification part, and so that when you will be alerted whenever the program is in session. Please do well to share the program. Send in your comments as well, because sending in your comments will help me to know that really you are understanding the program that we putting out, we're uploading and putting up here on Fauzan Harun channel for you. And as you all are aware, I will touch on the little bit of statistics in yesterday's game. And 3-2 to West Ham, the 2 goals for Chelsea scored by Willian, of course, in the 42nd and then 72nd minute. And also Thomas Soucek, Michail Antonio, and then Andriy Yarmolenko in the 89th minute scored the 3rd goal, which happened to be the winning goal for West Ham United. And when you look at the shots on target, Chelsea had 6 out of the 6, 2 was able to go into the net for us to have our 2 goals. And then West Ham had 4 out of their 4. 3 went in, meaning 75% accuracy with respect to shots on goal. Shots off target, West Ham had 2 and Chelsea had 8 also. Ball possession, Chelsea had 71% and then West Ham had 29%. You can see the distance. But always, as I tell you on this program, as a Chelsea fan, I'm not interested in the ball possession and the passes and useless passes that we are giving in front of goal. Always, we don't shoot, and that is why I like Ross Barkley. For some time now, fine, he's been formed, he's been up and down, his form is up and down. But in terms of shooting and potency up front, he and Pulisic and sometimes Willian are far better than the rest. Even Mason Mount used to be playing the shot, but now I don't know why he's not playing the shot. He too wants to pass when he gets in front of the opponent's goal post. He want to pass the ball, which baffles me a lot. And he is a good shooter of the ball. He want to pass the ball. I think last Sunday against Leicester, he shoot one for Schmeichel to just fix the ball over the goal for a corner kick. I think that was an excellent one for that matter. And let me pick on the players that represented Chelsea yesterday. Kepa, I will briefly highlight the performance of each of the players. Kepa Arrizabalaga in post. We have Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Alonso, man in the defense, and then in midfield we have Barkley, Kante, Kovacic, and then up front we have Willian, Tammy Abraham, and Christian Pulisic. So let me start with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Still, Kepa Arrizabalaga is not giving us enough confidence to believe in him as our settled number 1 for Chelsea. And I'm still advocating for us to go into the market and get a keeper reasonably priced, not too expensive one for that matter, who can sit in or better perform, better serve as our number 1. Because Kepa Arrizabalaga is not giving us enough confidence as Chelsea supporters for us to consolidate the belief that we used to have in him last year, which led us to winning the UEFA Europa Championship title, a trophy. He's been disappointing of late. How can you face 4 shots on target and 3 will enter? It means you are very poor. It means you had a save accuracy of 25%, which is very poor as a goalkeeper of Kepa Arrizabalaga caliber. Meaning I stand to be corrected. He is the most expensive goalkeeper in the world now at 72 million pounds sterling, which is quite baffling. I wonder, I still criticize Marina Granovskaya and our management team, recruitment team, who made this big mistake in paying such a huge sum of money for this goalkeeper. I mean, come on, how do you pay such an amount for this goalkeeper? Chelsea is not used to mediocrity. We used to have Peter Cech, Thibaut Courtois. Those were the kind of keepers that we have at Chelsea. But now, see the downgrade and downward level that we've gone from these excellent finest keepers to Kepa Arrizabalaga. Though I don't like Courtois for the way and manner he treated Chelsea and left for Real Madrid. I don't like him. But his qualities cannot be debated. He's an excellent chap in post. And the Kepa Arrizabalaga doesn't even give confidence when he's in the post. So the earlier Lampard addressed our goalkeeping position with respect to who we poach in as number one, the better for him. Because Roman Abramovich doesn't have patience to allow him to stay there for long and be toying with our heart, the supporters' heart. That can't be allowed to go on. In terms also, Azpilicueta is one of the players that I always praise on my program. He's a good chap for Chelsea. But yesterday, he had a below performance. Especially, you all saw the tackling when West Ham had a corner. Instead of him to focus on the ball, he was going to bundle a fellow player of West Ham and his opponent. He was in a bundling tussle with Souček and I think Mikel Antonio and Diop or one or other West Ham players who came in to try their luck with respect to the corner kick that they had. And our defenders, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, had their tackling, and Christensen, the least said about Christensen, the better. His tackling is not good at all. Area position to jump and head the ball, he's very poor in that. That's why I said our defensive position should also be addressed. Because we can't be buying Abdul Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner up front and yet still maintain this leaky defense that we have currently. It's not possible for us to mount a title challenge against Liverpool and Manchester City. If we want to challenge Liverpool and Manchester City, we need to get better performances from our players. Because these players, what I feel is that my opinion is that the bottom line is I think we've given them enough time to prove their competence on the field. But yet, time and time in again, they are failing. And so I think it's time for us to settle in on another goalkeeper, perhaps a top centre-back, one top centre-back, be it Upamecano of RB Leipzig or Kalidou Koulibaly. Kalidou Koulibaly, the issue is with his price. And also Ben Chilwell, Alonso yesterday. Alonso is my man, but yesterday he had a bad performance. Remember the last time I praised Alonso, I told you on this show that when Alonso performs below par, I will criticize him. So that is what I'm doing today. Yesterday, Alonso was nowhere to be found, especially the third goal of Andriy Yarmolenko. Alonso went overlapping to get a goal, but unfortunately, N'Golo Kante didn't cover well for him. Though I won't blame N'Golo Kante. He should be tactful going in front. Fine, the ball was there. Somebody should have covered for him, I understand. But I'm not talking with respect to that incident alone. That incident alone, I can excuse him because probably he went in to get a goal for us. Sometimes he goes up front and gets the goal and succeed to score for Chelsea. We jubilate. So yesterday, if he moves out of his position, N'Golo Kante and other midfielders should have covered for him. They failed. But I'm not talking with respect to that incident. Yesterday, Alonso's performance was below par. Remember, I praised him ahead of Emerson. Alonso almost always will play ahead of Emerson. I agree with Lampard. But Alonso yesterday was terrible. He should uplift his game before the end of the season. Before, hopefully, I know Chelsea are battling for the signature of Ben Chilwell and then Alex Telles of FC Porto. One of them should slot in the left fullback for us. And also, let's go to Christensen. The least said about him, the better. He didn't perform. He didn't give us any positive performance to comment about. His aerial positioning was poor. Remember in my last program, in our game against Leicester, I told you, Chelsea was an accident waiting to happen. The reason is we won against Leicester, all right, but Leicester didn't punish us. And yet we saw how West Ham did to us yesterday. The runs of Mikel Antonio, Thomas Suchek, and the West Ham attackers cannot be content with this. Chelsea defenders couldn't contend with the runs. This guy, Rudiger, was below par. He was terrible in tackling. Antonio was able to what? Bully him. Mikel Antonio bullied him throughout the game. I was surprised. I said, what? Is this Rudiger? Come on, we need to get better performance from Rudiger. Yesterday, almost all the players were below par with the exception of Pulisic and Willian. Pulisic and Willian, fine, they did well. And even Ross Barkley also, he played some shots which were blocked. Fine, next time you should time it very well. The up front, I didn't have so much issues with respect to the back. Our leaky defense cost us. And N'Golo Kante too, I don't know, probably he's aging. His strength, the N'Golo Kante that we used to know 2-3 years ago is not the N'Golo Kante that we are seeing right now. Kovacic yesterday was below par. Tammy Abraham was a mere passenger. Up front, it was only Tammy Abraham who didn't do anything on the field for us. He was a mere disaster. He was a disaster up front. He was disaster up front. And then Mason Mount came in the second half also. Yeah, he came in the second half also, but I didn't see much of him, though I wouldn't criticize him that much. So with the exception of Pulisic and William, we had below par performances. Suchek and Antonio posed a lot of questions to our defense. And to sum up the program, this explains the reason why we are placing fourth and struggling to consolidate our fourth position. When Lampard started in the early part of the season, he was doing well, but as the matches were piling up, he was being exposed by other teams. We lost so much points that we were not supposed to lose. 6 points to West Ham. Come on, Chelsea should be more than that. We shouldn't be losing points to West Ham. Losing 6 points to Manchester United, bad, but Manchester is better than West Ham. We can be content with though they are our rivals. It's below par. So Frank Lampard should really rebuild and concentrate to get goalkeeper, defensive, a left fullback, and a top-notch defender, a central defender to pair Rudiger for us, because the earlier he does that, the better for Chelsea. Please do subscribe to the show. I will end here on today's program by thanking you for watching the show with me, spending your precious opportunity to engage with me on this show. God richly bless you. Thank you very much. Salute you. Bye-bye. Hope to meet, inshallah, in some days to come. Bye-bye.